This week, the boys send up the Disney Hive Mind convention culture with the V52 Expo. The Deep co-hosts the event with resident Tucker Carlson parody Cameron Coleman. Actually a good pairing, and I got a kick out of their hyping up DEI talking points. We get the MCU-style phases release schedule. Tech Night introduces the Tech Night, which is definitely the Batman, even mentioning a Nirvana soundtrack. Sister Sage is trying to suss out the mole within the Seven, suspecting A-Train. Does anyone else suspect that there's a lack of evidence to support Sage's claim of being the smartest person in the world? Where's the math? She doesn't have any gadgets. Oh, but she's quick to jump on microtransactions and accuse everybody of being racist.
Now you don't have to play a victim. You can really be one.
At this point, I'm going to be disappointed if she doesn't mention the 1619 Project. Thanks to last week's murder scene, Homelander is changing his perspective. Slightly. Encouraging his son Ryan to speak his mind. When Ryan refuses to act in a show, he tells Dad he'd rather save people for real. This leads to Ryan saving an intern from pervy director Adam by having the cute Asian gopher slap the shit out of him. Ha ha ha! Are we supposed to feel bad that Ryan is going down this path, or did Adam deserve it? With A-Train and Ashley thinking their covers are blown, they set up Cameron Coleman as the leaker. And Homelander tests the loyalty of his fellow Supes by having them beat him to death. Butcher comes up with a plan to acquire a Supe-killing virus and needs a presidential pardon to crack Stan Edgar out of prison. Look, if you're getting pardoned, you don't have an ankle bracelet. Stan takes the boys to his ranch where adopted daughter Victoria has turned his barn into a lab to develop a means to control Homelander. Samir, the scientist who developed the virus and lover of Victoria Newman, is missing, but the livestock who were experimented on are acting up. Father and daughter have a chat about her living in the shadows, but she's not going to let that happen to her octopus-faced daughter, who's actually living in the shadows. Regardless, I'm still not sure if Victoria Newman is being written as the bad guy. Think back to that scene of Jesus on Ice, where her daughter was acting a little bratty and she went up to her and goes, "Yeah, you better listen right here, little bitch, you're going to go back to your rabbit." No, instead she said,
"Hey, 10 minutes and we'll get frozen hot chocolate at Serendipity, huh? Go, sit down."
When they catch up with Samir, he has one sample of the virus on him, and so the group uses it to fight the flying devil sheep. But in the chaos, Samir goes missing. Daddy Stan goes back to prison since he couldn't deliver on the virus, but is freed by Victoria. As for Samir, his severed leg shows up and is assumed to be the victim of devil sheep. But somehow Butcher managed to lock him away, lob off a leg, and is holding him to make more Supe virus. A Supe-killing virus. Yeah, that's not going to upset your dead wife who is beseeching you to take care of her Supe kid. Meanwhile, Huey spends the episode at the hospital with his mom and recovering dad, whom she did sneak V on to save. Oh, I called it. Remember last week when I said she was going to be responsible? But something seems off with dad's memory, and oh snap, he can shadow cat his way through matter. Reminded that this is a fate worse than being Jar Jar Binks, Huey puts down Dad, freeing Simon Pegg's schedule to make a fourth Star Trek film we're still pretending is in the works. Episode 5 was a rather good episode. I still think that the virus came up out of nowhere, and the Gen V crossover was inconsequential but not too jarring for someone who hasn't watched that show, such as myself. And I'm still holding out hope, fingers crossed, for a milking of Firecracker. Let me know what your thoughts are on this episode in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. I'll see you guys next week.
If you appreciate a YouTube channel that doesn't just pad out content to get to the 8-minute mark so that it can hammer you with ad breaks, then you should subscribe to my son's channel. You just got done watching it.